had a drink, guys? Have you had a drink, you guys? I mean, there's some soft drinks at the bar there, if you'd like one, or coffee. I'm right. Okay. Oops. Let me know when we're on, won't you, Claire? We're on? Okay. So we're live streaming. Live streaming. Okay, well, so the important thing, guys, is to clap very, very loudly, because otherwise the people at home may think that there's no one here, which is certainly not true, is it? Well, it's a lovely evening here in Lafayette, and it's a pleasure to be back after almost exactly a year since the last time I was here. I'd like to say thanks again to Claire and Pete for opening their doors to us this evening here at the Muse in Lafayette. And it's a very, very select audience this evening. We kind of weeded out all the people that we didn't think were just quite right for the venue. And we ended up with a very, very select elite audience. So congratulations to everybody who's here. And this is a little love song. We're going to do my own songs this evening, primarily, I think, almost entirely my own songs. And this is called I'm Amazed. And I don't need the mountains, and I don't need the trees, and I don't need the splendor of the sun that shines on me. I don't need the treasure buried out at sea, and I don't need the lovely gardens of antiquity. I've traveled far, and all that I've seen left me cold, twisted and scarred. Nothing could move in my soul. But I'm amazed by your love when I gaze in your eyes. I hope it stays with me now and all the days of my life. Dreams claw at me in the night, they whisper of tragedies not yet come to light. We must hold on to these precious times when I'm here by your side. And you are by mine. And out on the road, though you are far from me, everywhere I go, wonder is all that I see. It's better than the mountains, it's better than the trees, it's better than the splendor of the sun that shines on me. It's better than the treasures buried out at sea. It's better than the lovely gardens of antiquity. I'm amazed by your love when I gaze in your eyes. I hope it stays with me now and all the days of my life. 'Cause I'm amazed by your love when I gaze in your eyes. I hope it stays with me now and all the days of my life. Thank you. Thank you so much, folks. So you may be wondering why I've got 3 guitars up here on stage. It's because, in fact, Claire originally booked a trio. And then I showed up. Well, the real reason is that they're all in different tunings. There's nothing less interesting than watching a guitar player tune up, so I try to keep them all ready to go beforehand. So it's been a year since I was last here at the Muse. Almost exactly a year, I think. Just keep coming back. And I've been waiting all this time to come back to Lafayette. Among other things, this is a song about waiting, called Waiting to Begin. When I was a little boy, the world was like a Christmas toy, life a game that I was sure to win, and I'm waiting to begin. Work hard and get ahead, in time all things will come, they said. That was only so much spin, and I'm waiting to begin. Waiting to begin. I'm waiting to begin. Waiting to begin. I'm still waiting to begin. I never crossed the starting line. The race has left me far behind. I'm no longer in my prime. Still the siren voices sing. They're calling from the promised land, stolen from me by some sleight of hand. Life's a shadow of the one that I planned, till I find the real thing. I'm waiting to begin. Waiting to begin. Waiting to begin. I'm still waiting to begin. Days come and go, and all I really know is that I'm slowly getting older. No more time to waste, find the joy in the race. It's already halfway over. Let me do all that I intend. I'm gonna give all that I had to spend. The road is rushing towards the end, but I'm waiting to begin. I'm waiting to begin. Waiting to begin. Still waiting to begin. I'm still waiting to begin. Thank you. Folks, Claire, can I get just a bit more guitar, a little bit more guitar? I want to say thank you to Claire for running the sound tonight. Not only does she run a wonderful venue, but she also runs the sound. And Claire is herself an outstanding musician. What is your instrument again, Claire? Drums. Right. Wow, I'd love to see that. I think mostly here we have jazz combos coming through. Am I right? The jazz mostly at the Muse? Bluegrass and jazz? Yeah, right. Right. There are all kinds, right. But what is your preferred genre to play? Play jazz, right? Yeah, lovely. I'd love to hear you one night. Yeah. So here's one of my oldest songs, and this dates from my time in London, which is where I was born, of course. And this is called After the Rains. It's about a long period of gloomy weather, which is finally over. And I think we can safely say that we've come through a long period of gloomy weather, and we can look around us and feel that it's pretty much over. I'm talking about the pandemic, of course. We look out of our windows and see the world glittering and shining and smiling and beckoning, just as lovely as it ever was. After the Rains. This is called After the Rains. The eagle shakes his feathers dried after the rains are gone, and makes his home the wide blue sky after the rains are gone, and colors waiting to amaze are open to the gentle rays of the day to come after the rains are gone. eyes on our cheeks to leave us on our mountain peak. Then we will hear our vision speak. After the rains are gone, far from the thunder's reach, we'll hear a different song, love calling each to each. And through the mist of joy and pain, the morning bird will sing again, although the night was long. And if no trace of us remains, just say we've walked in love's domain. His will be our song after the rains are gone. The eagle shakes her feathers dry after the rains are gone, and makes her home the clear blue sky after the rains are gone. After the rains are gone. Thank you. After the rains. Thanks, folks. This is where we need a roadie to come out and help me with my various different guitars. I explained why I don't have any guitar stands with me this evening, as I usually do, guitar stands to put the guitars in. Well, they're all at the garage of my parents-in-law, and unfortunately my car was wrecked on the road about 3 weeks ago, totally broke down, certified beyond repair, so I had to transfer as much as I could from that car to the rental car, and then from the rental car to the garage of my parents-in-law, and that's where it still is. So I'm actually gearless, except for my guitars this evening, and that's where all my guitar stands are. That's the reason why there's a certain amount of chaos on stage this evening. So let me tell you about the big event that took place in my life. Of course, everybody here knows about this, so I'm addressing the audience online at the moment. Perhaps you don't know. And that is that I became a father 2 years ago and 4 months, I think, or 5 months. In March of 2020, Gabriel was born in New York City. A very, very happy event, but not a good time and place to choose to enter this world when we were just on the cusp of the pandemic. And as I was going in and out of the hospital to visit Stacey when she was staying there over a couple of days to give birth to Gabriel, and in the aftercare period, I would come in and out through a set of revolving doors, big revolving doors. I would come in and someone would come out, and it struck me this was a wonderful analogy for life. You know, here we are meeting and parting in the doors of a big hospital. Well, isn't that rather like life? Isn't that rather what we do? Meeting and parting, meeting and parting. The image that came into my mind was that of a carousel at a fairground, the horses on the carousel going up and down and round, coming into sight and disappearing from sight, coming into sight and disappearing, just as we do in life. And this is a song that I've written for Gabriel, which I will play to him when he's of a suitable age, to convey that idea. This is called the Carnival Walls. All the pretty horses go round and round, painted in colors so gay, prancing and dancing while the music plays. And so many people are standing in line, waiting to take a ride. Some may be happy, and some may be hurting inside. As long as the wheel keeps turning, we'll song are waving goodbye. For every face that is passing from us, another will always come round, and all we've lost someday will surely be found. Round and round they go, round and round they go, round and round they go. All the pretty horses go up and down, painted in their colours so gay, prancing and dancing while the music plays. And every good friend that we've lost on the way someday will come to the sound, and we are all riding the merry-go-round. Round and around we go, round and around we go, round and round we go. Thank you. Thanks, folks. So now I'd like to give you the title song of my new CD. This is my 2020 CD. I've actually recorded a new CD since then. I'll tell you a bit more about that later. This is my 2020 CD, Lamentations. I wrote this and recorded it in the middle of the pandemic, so it has a rather gloomy tone. This is the title song of my 2020 CD, Lamentations. Once I was lovely, once I was young, once I rejoiced in the light of the sun. Once the pure waters flowed straight to my well. Now I sing lamentations to heaven or hell. The keys of the kingdom were thrown at my feet. A table was laden with all I could eat. Now I beg them to feed me through the bars of a cell, and I sing lamentations to heaven or hell. From so far away, to all the dim voices that whisper and pray, show us your mercy, tell us all shall be well, while we sing lamentations from heaven or hell. Once I was golden, once I was young, and I danced in the light of the moon and the sun. Now I've grown the bell, and I sing lamentations to heaven or hell, and I sing lamentations to heaven or hell. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. So let me do a little song now which is based on a true story. The story which took place back in 1932 during the days of the Dust Bowl Depression. This is my song based on that story. I don't think anybody here can remember the Dust Bowl, but maybe our grandparents can. And I'm sure that both your parents, Larry and Bernice, can remember the Dust Bowl, can't they? I'm sure they went through it. Worst of it was the early 30s. Yeah. As if that wasn't bad enough, they went straight into the Second World War. They were pretty tough times there. So this is a song based on a true story which concerns a poor family who made their way across America on foot during the days of the Dust Bowl. I'd like to give a shout out to my friend Cravan Kirk this evening because he was here about 6 or 8 months ago at the Muse, and he performed this song for an equally select audience that night, I think. So he's been recording this and performing this particular song. Good friend of mine, Cravan Kirk, and a fellow singer-songwriter. He's done me the great honour of performing this particular song, and this is called Days of Mercy, based on a true story. Days of Mercy. Daddy lost his job one day when he wouldn't take a cut in pay. He couldn't find another place, even one that paid him less. So he settled into his easy chair with his dog-eared magazines until the bank took back our house. And my mama only screamed when she was a little girl. She had a dream, she found a pearl hidden in the pocket of her pants, but the pants were full of holes, and when she woke the pearl was gone. She was only 6 years old. Hold on tight, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun, put your faith in the road ahead. The days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. So we sold up all we owned. We headed east in a touring car. We found a place with a plot of land down in windy Arkansas. And Daddy worked on a lady's farm, but my mama heard it said he didn't work that lady's fields as much as he worked her bed. So she packed a cardboard case with a single change of clothes and took the baby on her hip and told us all to follow close. And we began the long walk home to the California coast. Hold on tight, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun, put your faith in the road ahead. The days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. In the heat of the Oklahoma sun, Mama led me to a stream and dipped a cloth to bathe my head. We walked all through New Mexico, and in a migrant workers' camp I learned all there was to know about the kindness of the poor. Though the children dressed in rags, they gave us everything they had. Bags of sweets with ready smiles, fresh tortilla around the fire, in the huts of rusty iron. When the baby started crying, hold on tight, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun, put your faith in the road ahead. The days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts. Days of mercy will come again. So we finally reached L.A. Beside a lake in Lincoln Park, a man was standing all alone, throwing crumbs to feed the ducks. When you gonna take those children home? Asked the man, and my mama said, we just walked 2,000 miles, we'll make it yet with a little luck. And then the man just looked away. He said he guessed his turn had come. He pulled out $2 bills, enough to see us right, for a can of pork and beans and some shelter for the night. Hold on tight, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun, put your faith in the road ahead, the days of mercy will surely come. But when the world is blown apart, in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts, days of mercy will come again. Time, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun, put your faith in the road ahead, the days of mercy will surely come. But when the world is blown apart, in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts, days of mercy will come again. Oh, hold on tight, my mama said, keep your eyes upon the sun, put your faith in the road ahead, days of mercy will surely come. When the world is blown apart, in the eye of a hurricane, let strength and courage fill your hearts, days of mercy will come again. Thank you. Oops. Okay. Let's do something a little bit different now. We're going to do a couple of instrumentals. First one is written by J.S. Bach, and the second one is written by me. So there's a little medley of two tunes, and I'm setting myself up for comparison with one of the greatest composers who ever lived, but that's okay, isn't it, Claire? So the Bach piece is called Jesu, Joy of Man's Desire. My little tune is called I'll Never Tire of Looking in Your Eyes. you. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. So, all of us who are here know Stacey. We all know Stacey and love her. And I want to tell you a little bit about Stacey's work for the audience online who may not know about it. She runs an organisation called Realise Your Beauty, which exists to help young kids, mostly girls, but mostly some boys, but mostly girls, who are struggling with a sense of themselves, who are struggling to love themselves, if you like. Maybe they have problems with gender identity. Maybe they have issues with food and they feel that they weigh too much or too little, and they have bulimia or anorexia. Maybe they just don't know who they are, they lack confidence, and they want to try and blend in more and be more like the person that their peers keep telling them they ought to be. Well, Stacey's job is to go into high schools with a theatre troupe that she's put together and persuade these young kids that they're beautiful just as they are, and they don't need to change to fit in to the way their peers keep telling them they ought to be. In other words, they ought to realise their beauty. So I decided to write a little fairy tale about a young girl who lived on a desert island where there was no Twitter and no Facebook and no social media. And no one ever came to visit her. But instead of being lonely, she decided she would make her beautiful island even more beautiful than it already was. The Ballad of a Brown-Eyed Girl. Stacey has brown eyes. She was a young girl with eyes of brown, lived 3 days all alone on an island where the wind and the rain made a pitiful sound, and the sun and the sea endlessly pound the rocks on the shore and the white sand. On the first day she wrote with a stick in the sand words of welcome to all passing sailors, but as evening fell on the very same day, the tide coming in washed her words away, while the light of the moon grew paler. On the second day she stood at her window and sang a beautiful song to the morning, but no one was there on her island to hear, and the beautiful song that she sang disappeared in the sound of the rain that kept falling. On the third day she woke and she planted the seed of a rose that would bloom in her garden, but the sun beats down and it withered the rose, for she chosen a place where no river flows, in a land that never gives pardon. And though none ever read what she wrote in the sand, or heard what she sang from her window, no, the rose that she planted died in her hand. For 3 days the cruel world was a lovelier land, for the brown-eyed girl had made it so. She was a young girl with eyes of brown, lived 3 days all alone on an island where the wind and the rain make a pitiful sound, and the folks. Those of you who are watching online, it is still possible for you to buy CDs now. You can buy them online. You go to my website, rupertwatesmusic.com, go to the music page and buy one of my CDs. Now, not many people buy CDs these days, but I want to mention that my CDs do have nutritional value, in that if you buy one, then I eat. So please bear that in mind next time. My new CD, which was released this year, called For the People. That phrase comes, of course, from the Gettysburg Address, for the people, by the people, of the people. What a beautiful and significant phrase that is. I was asking myself, what kind of music would really go with that phrase that is so fundamental to American democracy? For the people. Well, folk music, I guess, is music by the people, of the people, for the people. I'd like to give you some songs from my new CD, all of which are based on Old English folk tales, loosely based on Old English folk tales. This particular folk tale concerns a mermaid who's trying to get home to her cave, but the captain of a ship has anchored with his anchor over the mouth of her cave, so she can't get home to feed her loved ones. So she's begging the captain of the ship to weigh anchor so that she can get home to her cave. May or may not be a true story, but I based this song on it anyway. Now this is called "O Captain." Oh Captain, weigh anchor, I pray, for I may not return home till your anchor be raised. If you like my silvery tail, if you like my bright fishy scales, and my hair much lighter than the breeze, let me show you how thankful I can be. Hear my loved ones calling to me from our home deep under the sea. Draw your anchor from the ocean floor, where it lies now blocking my door. Oh Captain, weigh anchor, I pray, for I may not return home till your anchor be raised. My loved ones are hungry in their lonely cave. Oh, let not their watery home be their grave. My husband below, he is one of your kind, and his voice is sweeter than wine. I tempted him as I lay on the sand, and that same day he gave me his hand. Now each evening you may hear us sing to the moon and her sister the wind. They will send you calm and friendly seas if you'll grant this favor to me. Oh Captain, weigh anchor, I pray. I beg you, let me go on my way. Have pity on this comely maid, for I may not return home till your anchor shall be weighed. Appreciate it so much. Here's another song from my new CD, which is called For the People, and this one is based loosely on some Old English folk tales which concern the sea. England being an island, a lot of the folk tales that you read and hear are about the sea, the beauty of the sea, the mystery of the sea, the cruelty of the sea, the danger of the sea. And this is one of them. Well, this was based on one of them, should we say. This is called To the Sea. Can you tell me where my true love lies? What's that to me? What's that to me? Did she pass by on her morning ride? Follow the river to the sea. Were there wildflowers in her chestnut hair? What's that to me? what's that to me? It was for my sake she then did wear. Follow the river to the sea. There she waits on the sun-warmed sands while the waves rise and fall, where the old ruined castle stands and silence gazes from its walls. There she'll watch as the sailors make land, each with treasures galore. They will show her the pearls in their hands that they have brought from distant shores. And in time to come she'll not grow old. What's that to me? What's that to me? For a rusty coin she'll trade her soul. Follow the river to the sea. Can you tell me where my true love lies? What's that to me? What's that to me? Did you hear her sing as she passed by? Follow the river to the sea. Follow the river to the sea. Follow the river to the sea. To the sea. Appreciate it. So I'd like to do a little medley on the theme of ladies, beautiful ladies. Both these are loosely based on Old English folk tales. The first is loosely based on King Arthur's quest to find the answer to the question, what is it that ladies most desire? King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, he had to go off and find the answer to that question. What is it that ladies most desire in order to gain access to the Round Table? King Arthur himself had to undergo a kind of test, and that was his test. What is it that ladies most want? It's a question that men have asked themselves through the centuries, and I still don't know the answer. So I thought I would write a little song based loosely on that quest of King Arthur's to find the answer to the question, what is it that ladies most want? If we only knew it, we'd give it to them. And the second song that I'm going to go straight into is also on the theme of ladies, but it concerns a lady who's just been jilted at the altar by her husband-to-be, who's gone off to live with a beautiful Spanish lady who's tempted her husband with her olive skin and her brown eyes and her dark ringlets and her jewellery. So that lady is obviously understandably rather upset about that. So these are two songs on the theme of ladies. What is it that ladies most want? And what do ladies say and do when they don't get what they want? This is All Fair Ladies, followed by Spanish Galleon. Admired, ask and we will answer you. Name the thing you most desire, ask and we will answer true. Shall it be a diamond or a ring? Must I be a pauper or a king? Tell me if you can what I must bring the lady fair, for my lady's love to win. Will she care for pomp and state? Ask and we will answer you. Plump young fowl to fill her plate, ask and we will answer true. Shall it be a diamond or a pin? Must I be a pauper or a king? Tell me if you can what I must bring the lady fair, for my lady's hand to win. Will my riches turn her head? Yes, but they'll not reach her heart. Will she prize good sport in bed? Yes, but you must learn the art. Be thou lord or prince or knave, so say all when you're schooled in what she craves. So say, oh, fair ladies, let your lady have her will. Then your cup of joy shall be filled. If no other thing you bring your lady fair, you your lady's heart shall win. Let your lady have her will. Then your cup of joy shall be filled. If no other gift you bring your lady fair, you your lady's heart shall win. You your lady's heart shall win. Lord, take me aboard your fine Spanish galleon. I must make my way to the port of Cadiz. Thy true love is there and still wears my medallion, for I am worth more than that lady of his. How much should I pay you to grant me the passage? A poor maid I am, little money have I. His lady is rich, and she rides in a carriage, and she has bewitched him with dark Spanish eyes. Oh, take me aboard your fine Spanish galleon. I must make my way to the port of Cadiz. My true love is there and still wears my medallion, for I am worth more than that lady of his. He bears my image yet close to his heart. No more will her jewels and her finery blind him. No more will she practice her poisonous art. Oh, take me aboard your fine Spanish galleon. I must make my way to the port of Cadiz. My true love is there and still wears my medallion, for I am worth more than that lady of his. I am worth so much more than seniors of his. Appreciate it. I'd like to do a brand new song. Actually, this is about a month old, or maybe 6 weeks old, and it's just a little love song. And this is called "If I Ran to You." If I ran to you. If I ran to you, would you lead me all the way to your door? If I called your name, would you feed me all I needed and more? If I loved you as the sea loves the shore, and if I lose my way, would you guide me? Would you hold out your hand? If I'm hunting me, would you hide me from the law of the land? If I loved you as the sea loves the sand. When the world is burning, when the world is turning me upside down, though you may be far from me, where you are to me shall be my ground, my solid ground. When I open my eyes, will I see you? Will you stand by my side? Will you be here when the water is dry? upside down. Though you may be far from me, where you are to me shall be my ground, my solid ground. If I ran to you, would you lead me all the way to your door? If I loved you as the sea loves the shore, if I ran to you, would you open your door? So much input. Well, I'd like to dedicate this to all the veterans in the room, and I know there's at least one of them this evening, Larry. All the veterans. I wrote this on Memorial Day of last year, Memorial Day, and it's really dedicated to all the veterans. The background is the First World War, 1914 to 1918. I came across a wonderful story, a true story, concerning a pub in not far from London, which I call the Bricklayer's Arms in the song that I'm about to sing, a pub called the Bricklayer's Arms. And what happened was, on the eve of the First World War, all the young men of that village got dressed in their new uniforms and went down to the pub for one last drink and farewell with their sweethearts and loved ones and family members. And each man produced from his pocket a florin, which was a silver coin worth about 10 pennies, which was quite a lot of money in those days, 1914. And they said, here is a florin, and we're going to nail this to the beam of the Bricklayer's Arms, our favourite pub. We're going to nail it to the beam. And when we come back from the war, as we surely will do, each of us will reclaim our florin and we'll buy drinks for the house. So that's what they did. And 110 years later, you go back to that pub, look up at the ceiling, you'll see all the nail holes in the ceiling, which represent all the young men from that village who came home and reclaimed their florin. There are still 25 silver coins nailed to the ceiling of that pub. And they stand for all the young men who never came home. And that is their war memorial, if you like, those silver coins in the ceiling of the pub. So I decided to write a song about that. For all who serve. This is called A Florin to the Beam. A florin being an English coin worth about 10 pennies. A florin to the beam. Drink up and dry your eyes, nail a florin to the beam of the old Bricklayer's Arms and leave it there for all to see. Drink up and dry your eyes, and on the day when I come home, it will buy a high old time for you and me. Promise me that you'll remember me in every letter that you send to me. This war will never make an end of me, as long as you are still a friend to me. Drink up and dry your eyes, and nail a florin to the beam of the old Bricklayer's Arms and leave it there for all to see. Drink up and dry your eyes, and on the day when I come home, it will buy a high old time for you and me. And if I never see your eyes again, that coin will be the one you never spend. No black rings notice in the Times for me. One silver penny will do fine for me. Drink up and dry your eyes, and nail a florin to the beam of the old Bricklayer's Arms and leave it there for all to see. Drink up and dry your eyes, and on the day when I come home, it will buy a high old time for you and me. We'll have a high old time, wait and see. That's about it. Thanks so much. It's been a pleasure to play for everyone this evening. I must say it's been a real pleasure for me. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have. I always think that best things come in the smallest of packages, and this is a very much a case in point this evening. Best audiences are always the smallest. So once again, thanks to Claire for hosting us this evening and doing such a great job with the sound. It's always a pleasure to come and play here at the Muse in Lafayette. So when I look back on my life, I often ask myself the question, will I feel that I did the right thing? Did I do the wrong thing? Was I right? Was I wrong? Was I justified? And this is called Justified. I'd like to do a little instrumental now, which is a non-original tune. This is written by Leo Kottke. One of my favourite guitarists, Leo Kottke. And this is one of his tunes from his first album. That really dates me, doesn't it? His first album, 1969, I think it was. Leo Kottke. This is called The Fisherman by Leo Kottke. great pleasure to play for you, everybody. Do come out and support live music when you can. Musicians need you now more than ever. If you've been watching online, it's been a pleasure to play for you. So thanks again to the Muse for hosting us. It's a lovely venue. East South Boulder Road, Lafayette, Colorado. Please come out to the Muse and hear other music any night of the week you choose. I think we're open every night, isn't it, Claire? Is that which nights we open? Sorry? Pretty close. Which nights does it close? Tuesday, right? That's not unusual. Every other night of the week, please come down to consider coming to the Muse. Check out what's going on here. Come and support live music. So here's a song I wrote for some friends of mine who are going through a hard time some years ago. This is called Prayer. Let's consider all the people we know and love this evening who may be in need of a prayer right now. There's always too many. So this is called Prayer, and it goes out for everybody tonight who doesn't have a prayer. Here's to you, and here's to me. Here's to all we've ever seen. To all to come and all that's been. Here's to all to our fathers and to our heirs, to all people everywhere, where they haven't got a prayer. Here's to the young and here's to the old, to the body and to the soul, to all whose stories are still untold. Here's to the lightness and here's to the weight, to the gay and to the straight, to all who die too soon or were born too late. Here's to our enemies and here's to our friends, to the river that never ends. Here's to the sinners and here's to the born again. To the left and to the right. Here's to the evening and here's to the morning light, coming into sight. To the rich and to the poor. Here's to the sea, here's to the shore. Here's to all people everywhere, when they haven't got a prayer, 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 when they haven't got a prayer. Here's to the cock and here's to the priest, to the west and to the east. Here's to all they bring to the feast. Here's to the lion and here's to the lamb. Here's to the beast and the heart of man. Here's to the house on rock and the house on sand. Here's to the heart and to the head, to the living and to the dead. Here's to the joy and to the tears we shed. Here's to the first and here's to the last, to the future and to the past. Here's to all who've ever raised their glass, anytime we asked. To the moon and to the sun, to all we've lost and all we won. Here's to all people everywhere, when you haven't got a prayer, when you haven't got a prayer, when you haven't got a prayer, when you haven't got a prayer. Appreciate it. Well, we'd like to do one more little song to say thank you, everybody, for listening. Thanks again to Claire at the Muse, and thanks for the lovely audience who came out this evening and turned down every other offer to spend an evening here at the Muse with me. So here's hoping that we will meet again. Be safe on the road. Be safe. Stay safe. Look after your health. Consider your loved ones. We may be through with COVID, but it's not through with us, so let's remember that. Stay well and healthy, and let's meet again a little further down the road. And this is called Further Down the Road. When thorny darkness comes to chill my bones, and when I stumble on the rocks and stones, and I see a fire ahead that guides me home, and further down the road, and as I walk towards the blaze of light that calls me like a siren day and night, it's always at the very edge of sight, and further down the road, further down the road, gleams the promise of the happiness we're owed, and further down the road, surely waits there where the fire still glows. When time is closed on all we've done and said, when all that's left of me is dust instead, think only that I've gone some way ahead and further down the road. Further down the road gleams the promise of the happiness we're owed. Further down the road, love surely waits there where the fire still glows. When thorny darkness comes to chew your bones, and when you're lost and scared and all alone, I'll light a fire ahead to guide you home, and further down the road, a little further down the road. Wonderful. Thank you. I'd like to say thank you to Bernice, Larry and Jill for being part of our very select audience this evening. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great night. Thank you. Good night. Thanks. Thank you.